Once upon a time, in distant lands, there was a magical forest that few humans knew about. This forest was filled with shimmering leaves hanging from tree branches and sweet melodies drifting from the flowers. Sunlight danced in rainbow colors as it filtered through the leaves, adding a touch of enchantment to every corner of the forest. The creatures that lived here were far different from ordinary animals. They were fairies and adorable monkeys. Fairies were joyous creatures that floated in the air with their tiny wings. Each one emitted a different colored light, and these lights carried the magical energy that gave life to the forest. Tiny homes of the fairies were scattered all over the forest. Hidden under leaves, beds made from flower petals, and swings strung between branches. The fairies lived happily in these homes. The monkeys, on the other hand, were the most playful creatures in the forest. With curious eyes and adorable expressions, they were always on the lookout for a new game. The leader of the monkeys was a young and brave monkey named Miko. Miko always ventured from adventure to adventure in the forest with his friends, never tiring of discovering new things. One day, a fairy named Lila discovered a place deep within the forest. This place was unlike any other. Hidden within the heart of a gigantic tree was a glittering cave. Inside the cave was a mysterious beam of light. Lila wondered what this light was and decided to explore the cave with her friends. Lila brought along her closest friend, a fairy named Pyri. Pyri was the wisest fairy in the forest and knew a lot about ancient stories. They also invited Miko and his playful monkey friends. Thus, Lila, Pyri, Miko, and the other monkeys prepared for a grand adventure. As they journeyed deeper into the forest, Lila and her friends encountered many dangers. But every challenge only strengthened their friendship and courage. Along the way, they met many interesting creatures, each of whom helped them with their unique abilities. These creatures were all part of the forest's magic, each working tirelessly to protect it. When Lila and her friends reached the heart of the giant tree, they found a magical beam of light before them. This light represented the spirit of the forest, and if used incorrectly, it could endanger the entire forest. Therefore, they needed to solve the mystery of the light and protect the forest. But the secret of the light was guarded by a series of puzzles that required intelligence, courage, and friendship to solve. Lila, Pyri, Miko, and the other monkeys combined their strengths to solve these puzzles. Each one used their unique skills to overcome the challenges. Lila's sharp mind, Pyri's wisdom, Miko's bravery, and the other monkeys' agility led them to victory. In the end, by solving the mystery of the light, they managed to protect the spirit of the forest. The forest once again lived in peace and happiness. After this great adventure, Lila and her friends became known as the heroes of the forest. Their stories of bravery and friendship spread to every corner of the forest, and so, in the depths of the enchanted forest, the fairies and adorable monkeys continued to live in eternal happiness and peace. Every new day brought them new adventures and discoveries, but nothing could surpass the strength of their friendship. After solving the mystery of the magical light beam and protecting the spirit of the forest, Lila and her friends realized the importance of their duty. However, this was just the beginning. There were many more secrets and adventures waiting to be discovered in the depths of the forest. One morning, while Lila and Pyri were sitting on the branches of the great oak tree where the fairy homes were located, Miko and the other monkeys joined them. The monkeys were as cheerful and energetic as ever. In Miko's eyes, there was a spark of excitement for a new adventure. "What are we going to do today, Miko?" asked Lila, fluttering her wings. Miko grinned widely and said, "I found a new place for us to explore. There's a big waterfall in the western part of the forest. I've heard that there's a mysterious cave behind the waterfall. Maybe we can discover a new secret there." Pyri raised her eyebrows with curiosity. The western part of the forest is largely unexplored. No one knows what we might find there. This could be really exciting. Lila and the other monkeys loved the idea. They decided to set off together. The path to the western part of the forest was covered with dense vegetation and tall trees. However, this did not deter their courage. Lila and Pyri guided the way with their wings, while Miko and the monkeys swiftly moved through the branches. During their journey, they encountered many interesting creatures. One of them was a cute little dormouse named Minnick. Minnick was lost and asked Lila and her friends for help. "Hello, little friend," said Lila kindly. "Where do you want to go?" Minnick, with a trembling voice, said. "My home is in the southern part of the forest. But I don't know how I ended up here. Can you please help me?" Miko picked up Minnick on his back and said, "Of course we'll help. You can join us on our journey, and we'll take you home afterward." Thus, Minnick joined them as well. As they progressed towards the waterfall, they formed many bonds of friendship along the way. They met other creatures living in various parts of the forest, each offering them new knowledge and stories. Finally, when they reached the great waterfall, they found an astonishing sight before them. The waters of the waterfall cascaded down from a high cliff, creating a dazzling rainbow. But the most intriguing part was the dark and mysterious cave behind the waterfall. Miko bravely stepped forward and said, "There it is. The cave behind the waterfall. Let's go inside and see what it hides." Lila and Pyri followed Miko. Minnick, curious as well, joined them. As they entered the cave, they were greeted by cool and damp air. The walls of the cave were covered with glowing stones that emitted a faint light. As they ventured deeper, they began to hear strange sounds coming from the depths of the cave. These sounds were both frightening and intriguing. But the friends continued to move forward, trusting each other. After a while, they reached the deepest part of the cave. There, they found an ancient inscription on a large stone monument. The inscription read, "The greatest secret of the forest lies here." Below the writing was a cover. Miko opened the cover and looked inside, unable to believe his eyes. Under the cover was a glowing crystal orb. This orb contained all the energy and magic of the forest. However, the orb was protected by a delicate balance and could cause great danger in the wrong hands. Lila carefully examined the orb. "This orb is like the heart of the forest. We must protect it and use it wisely," she said. Just then, a creature emerged from the depths of the cave. It was a giant spider, tasked with guarding the orb. The creature threatened Lila and her friends, saying, "You have entered here without permission. You will never take the orb." Miko bravely stepped forward and said, "We mean no harm. We only want to protect the forest. Please trust us." The spider thought for a moment. seeing the sincerity in Lila and the others, it slowly retreated. If you are truly well-intentioned, you may protect this orb. But if you attempt to harm it, the consequences will be severe, it said. Lila, Pyri, Nico, and Minnick thanked the spider and carefully took the orb. They brought it to a safe place and did everything they could to protect the magic of the forest. Thus, Lila and her friends successfully completed yet another adventure. While discovering the secrets hidden in the depths of the forest, their friendship and courage grew even stronger. As the heroes of the forest, they continued to embark on new adventures together. Would you please like the video and subscribe to my channel?